Hey there, what do you say there? It is a beautiful day there, and a beautiful day here. The sun is here, have no fear. It has appeared. And we are diving in once again to take another look inside this beautiful book by Viktoras Kulvinskas. The book is called Survival in the 21st Century, Planetary Healer's Manual. This is Jerome Shaw, host of the Open Palm Podcast Motivator. Meditator, coming at you with some more wisdom of the ages as we go throughout the stages. Check out the playlist. This is Jerome Shaw with the Pranic pages. Now, in this chapter, it is called Aquarian Liquid Diet. Interesting chapter title, Aquarian Liquid Diet. Now, one of my friends told me that diet is like an acronym for do I eat that? Or did I eat that? But when we're talking about a liquid diet, we could also call it like a solid food vacation, right? Where sometimes you go on a solid food vacation and you feel so good, your vacation turns into a staycation. So Aquarian, for the Aquarian age, right? My moon is Aquarius. So Aquarian liquid diet, here we go. The fruit of the vine that I shall drink new with you in the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 26, verse 29. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Proverbs 29, verse 18. Jesus says, drink ye all of this, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which shall be shed for many unto remission of sins. And I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until that day when I shall drink it new with you in the kingdom of my Father. The new or fresh juice of fruits is to be shed and taken for remission of sins instead of the animal sacrifices of ancient and modern customs. Get your blood transfusion from the omnipresent Christ life in the juice of fruits and vegetables, for that will give you life besides everlasting. Johnny Love Wisdom. In a study on the grass juice factor in diet, Dr. Kohler et al. Discovered that an animal can be raised on a total liquid diet for the entire lifespan. Wow. He states, an interesting fact brought out by this work is that guinea pigs can be raised on a liquid diet in spite of the fact that their digestive tract is equipped to handle large amounts of roughage. Dick Gregory, the famous pacifist comedian, vowed not to touch solid food till the end of war on this planet. He has been on a liquid diet for over 30 months. He runs at least 3 miles daily. To celebrate the 100th day of the fruit juice diet, he ran 15 miles. During his visit at the Institute, he informed us that he drinks 1 gallon of fresh fruit juice one day. The following day, 1 gallon of distilled water. It took about 3 years of purification and fruitarian diet before he achieved optimum energy on this liquid diet. In 1972, he ran for 20 miles in the Boston Marathon race. He tells you in his book just exactly how anyone can become a fruitarian and why. For therapeutic reasons, the ease of digestion, one should juice all vegetables. So we're talking about just first off, for the ease of digestion, right? Breaking it down into a liquid. That's why a lot of the times I remember people used to always tell me, chew your food, right? Just at least chew it, to break it down, break the morsels down into a liquid so it can go through with a more flow. Dr. Walker, who was given up to die, regained his health completely by using raw juices. He continues to be very active in naturopathy, and in writing well past the age of 100. He eats little and juices most of the vegetables. Newspaper clippings, London Times, 1959 reported, Britain's most talked about woman today is Dr. Barbara Moore, a 57-year-old Russian-born physician-scientist who walked 110 miles on 2 successive weekends on a diet of fruit and vegetable juices. The slim woman doctor has come within minutes of beating soldiers and civilians of all ages by marching 110 miles in 26 hours and 29 minutes. The record, 26 hours and 24 minutes, is held by 3 British soldiers. She says, Indian yogis taught me the art of deep breathing and cures without surgery. When I was 30, I began experimenting on myself. First, I lived on a vegetarian diet, then on raw fruit and vegetable juices. My daily diet is a simple 4 small glasses of mixed juices, ranging from orange to cucumber or pumpkin juice, plus pure water and honey. I eat no starch, no protein, no fiber, no milk. Meat and protein foods fill the body with toxins which cloud the brain, right? If you've ever had brain fog, you know how that feels. I sleep only 2 hours a day. Not bad. I have cut down my breathing rate to 6 times a minute, half the normal speed, which also reduces my heartbeat, all adding to my long life process. Her husband is the sculptor, Henry Moore. He knows that I have the body of a woman of 32 and the vigor, the stamina, and endurance of a man of 24. My last illness was leukemia, which crippled me for 3 years until I cured myself. A child starts the days as a liquidarian. Mother's breast milk can be fed for up to 3 years or more as the sole nourishment, and yet the child's body will manifest health and show no signs of degeneration. Every study in longevity shows that frugal eating, predominantly of liquids, promotes health and prolongs life. When one is a liquidarian, the occult apparatus will function at the level intended by creation. Waste products from the digestion of solid food will not interfere with the nerve linkages. Oxygen will circulate more freely because of the absence of pressure on the arteries and veins by gas generated from fermentation of undigested food. And this is crazy because, even when I was on my first solid food vacation, like when I was really coming off of solids and going straight into liquids, I had gone into liquids for some time, and then I went to my father's house in South Carolina, spent some time with my family, and I went out to a holistic wellness center, where they were doing colonics, and I got hydrocolon therapy. Now, I went in here thinking, it wasn't going to be that much coming out. It was tons of stuff coming out of my body, coming out of my colon. And I saw it, I watched it flushing down this tube. There was a big clear tube that you could see all the contents of the layers of being chipped by the water. And it was just layers and layers and layers of just matter, solid matter was coming out of my body. And I had already been liquid for quite some time. So it was like, what is this stuff that is just stuck in our bodies? Stuck in our intestines, stuck in the GI tract, stuck in the colon. And how our colon can be so swollen, right? We have no idea the amount that we are able to store until we take a deep dive and we start to explore, you know? Realizing even when you've had a detox, there could be more. Vital energy will be centralized in the upper chakras instead of in the stomach to carry out digestion. Sleep will be practically eliminated. One will have time for meditation and experience all the esoteric privileges at one time restricted to a select few. One will be on the path of transcending time and space. Now, I like what they say here, having time for meditation. You know, people say they don't have time for exercise. They don't have time for walking. They don't have time to be out in nature. They don't have time for meditation. They don't have time for relaxation. They don't have time for high vibration, right? But when you have cut out so much, right, it puts you even more in touch with your own body. Not even to talk about your mind, right, your spirit. Come on now. You hear it. You hear your body talking to you. You see the signs. You become more aligned when you were misaligned, right? And without even trying, you're able to see that you have so much time on your hands. And that the time you have now is at your demand. So you're no longer, going grocery shopping for all this food. So you're no longer cooking. You're no longer cleaning. You're no longer washing dishes. You're no longer having all of these things that take time. So now you have all this time. And you are left with your mind. But you realize that the space that you create is now of your own design. So it's your choice whether you go back to the darkness or whether you continue to shine. Ultimately, it's up to each and every one of us to make the choice to find whether or not we are inclined, or go back to being in a bind. And that was my choice as well. This is why I want to tell you. With a liquid diet, one has to redesign his or her life. Here we go. It must be spent in the service of humanity, perfection, and love. Now, as we know with the law of correspondence, as below, so above, right? So humanity, perfection, and love, as below, so above, as within, so without. This is what it's all about, you know? This is a big reason why I continue to be in service and why I find so much purpose. Why I realize that I'm worth it and that I never need be worth less is because I understood that there's so much more that I could do and so much more that I could be when I just started to let go and let myself be free, right? Building the chi so that I could more clearly see. The less a person uses and indulges, the more perfect he or she becomes. Humans gain in perfection as they conquer their appetites and desires, and they devote their lives to the discovery of the heaven within. This reminds me of Jasmine. She talks about the DOW, what she called in her Food of the Gods book, the divine one within, where we start to begin and realize that you already win. You know, if you woke up today, if there's breath in your body, the DOW is functioning. The divine one within is within you. So allow it to flourish and continue, right? So she did say that one of the parts of the pranic path she considered essential and crucial was to allow yourself to be in service, acts of service. You know, it's one of the 5 love languages, acts of service, right? But just like Mahatma Gandhi said, one of the best ways to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others, right? For everyone you see, these are your sisters and brothers. So what could you hope to gain in the service of another? And what could you maintain and sustain? This is not an easy road, but if any man will come after me, let one deny himself and follow me. Beautiful. And that concludes this chapter, Aquarian Liquid Diet. And I trust that you received the knowledge that we perceive, right? It's all comes down to what we believe. But even if it is something that you had not conceived before, you can achieve it today. And you can do it all in your own unique way. So thank you once again. This has been Jerome Shaw with some wisdom from the ages, from today's modern sages. We'll catch you once again next time on the Pranic Pages.